So let's say I talked about 4 elements. The second one, I'm going to just say a few words, is that is the 4, what we call 4 quality. 4 quality will be peace, 1, expansive creativity, 2, sense of power, strength, inner strength, confidence, 3, and fearlessness, like so no fear, fearlessness. Or we can also we can say wrathful. In a Tibetan tantric iconography, you can see these wrathful deities. They look very wrathful, very ferocious, kind of look a little scary, but they're the most compassionate being behind those scary faces. So, can we have these 4 qualities? And sometimes for us, it's very difficult. When we are angry, we lose all these qualities. And sometimes even when we have when you're feeling some sense of peace, but you also lose the quality of creativity sometimes. In one given moment, we are not very good at encompassing all these quality at one time. So first, can you recognize what one of these qualities, this moment in your life, what one of these qualities most missing? Just being aware of that. Of course, if you say, oh, I wanted to have peace, or I wanted to have expansive, or I wanted to have power, or I wanted to have, that's ego talking, right? It's I want. And is there anything more? I want also. But not that. Just simply being aware in your life, this moment in your life, what are the things that you feel will nourish, what are the quality will truly nourish your inner being? What are the quality? Either it is talking about the 5 qualities of the elements, or talking about these 4 qualities I just mentioned. That they also sometimes they correspond, overlap each other. So basically, either way, what are the qualities that you feel will nourish your inner being this moment in your life? Right? It's a simple question. And once you find out what are the qualities then it's not a question about going so far, spending so much money, doing so many things. It's not about any of those things. It's just tuning into that infinite space and discovering it's already there, nourishing it. Let's say second one, quality, like the expansiveness, the creativity. Let's say in any given moment in our life when we feel stuck, what we want to look for some solution. How we're trying to find a solution? Not when you get agitated, when you're trying to force yourself. When we try to do that, we even forget numbers, Sometimes you're trying to almost forget your name, when you're in those moments. So how you can be creative when you don't remember your name or numbers, telephone numbers, or just something like that? Things you remember, you forget things you remember, how you can be creative? No, you cannot. So just think about, if you go into that space, that's the base. Just feeling that space. Not looking for the result so much, just being in that space. I'm just taking a break from outcome, solution. I'm just going in and being in that space, infinite space. If my awareness mature enough in that space, it will not stay like that, because that's called maturing. New feelings will come up. New thought will merge. New emotion will emerge from that place. And those thoughts and those emotions will be the source of creativity. those thoughts and those emotions will find solution, because it's coming from a very pure place. So I think there's kind of two aspects here. First one is to, of course, in the West, probably everybody will think, but I feel the inner peace, what that will do in my job, how it will change my job situation or something like that. Immediately from the awareness to matter into action, into dollar. That's immediate translation, right? In the West, that's what people do. Well, probably it will happen that way. If that's the direction you wanted to go, it will happen that way. But the only way it's going to happen, best way it's going to happen, is when you not disconnect with that space. And when you always connected with that space, whatever outcome will be, you'll be happy with that outcome. But when you lost that connection to that space, whatever outcome, even the outcome is much better than you expected, you will still be not happy with that outcome, because you think, with all this mistake, if I did that well, then without a mistake, I should have done much better, so I'm still doing the wrong thing. A friend of mine, he said his father is a businessman. He said, no matter how well they do every year, he always finds this is not right. He said, yes, we did make a lot of profit. Then if we did this one that way, then we would have made more. So it's never right, because you're disconnected.